All right. Welcome to another episode of Celebrity Adnan Shah from actually I just want to say it's August 6th, 2021, just so people know what day it is. And I just another an hour ago. I'm on fire today. But notice I'm here with Adnan Shah from is it Nex Marketing Solutions?
Yeah, it's Nex Marketing Solutions. Nex Marketing Solutions.
Okay, so um, he is far away, so we're going to see how the sound works here. It was okay for a second when we just tested it, but then the second I started recording, it sounded like he's in a wind tunnel again or something. So who knows what's going on? But what country are you in?
Yeah, I'm in Pakistan, and I'm so sorry for the audio and everything. I apologize for that. It could be something from my end because
Yeah,
this
yeah.
might be a long call, right?
It might be a what?
It's a long distance call, right? So that might be the problem.
Oh no, for sure. Yeah, that's what it is, I guess. The last guy I was talking to was in I don't know, where was he? Somewhere in the United States, and it's not too bad. But yes, long distance calls are all very tough. But I mean, it's pretty amazing that you're actually on the other side of the world, and we're having like a real time.
Yeah,
Actually, can you even see me? I just realized I don't even see
yeah,
my.
I
Oh,
can
there
see
I am.
you.
Sorry, I had the typing chat open, so I'm like, where am I? All right, so well, I will tell the story of how we met. So uh, I guess I've been dealing with web developers for like a year now. It occurred to me a year ago I want to try making my own site, and I
I
researched
see.
it, and I was gonna and I thought maybe I could make something like a Patreon or something where creators can post their content, and then they
I
can
see.
make money from it. And I hired a company in France to do it. I bought a template from them, and then it sucked so bad I had to cancel. And then 2 months ago, I hired a company in India who has another sort of I don't know, they call it like a template or a clone that um, I paid for. And then 2 months into it, I realized, oh my God, it's not working. It's a ripoff. Um, but at the same time, I was posting um, on Facebook looking for graphic designers to make me a logo for the website. And I think I probably posted on a lot of them that were like in different countries, like Philippines or
Hmm.
India, because I've been
Yeah,
told
yeah.
that it's cheaper to get
Most of
people
them are.
there. What's that?
Most of them are basically based over there.
Yeah, yeah. So I thought, okay, I'll do that, and then I got lots of messages, and then yeah, the Indian developer was a scam, so I'm trying to get my money back from my credit card now. It's a whole disaster, but I guess maybe I posted. I think I posted on my own Facebook again, my personal profile, saying, "Does anybody know a legit web developer?" Because I thought maybe I can just find someone here or wherever. Is that where you saw me post?
Yeah, actually, I saw it, and there was a Google Doc as well. And I went through the Google Doc, and I understood what you're trying to build, and I found your contact information. So I thought, I should go ahead and reach out to you because you might be in some kind of a need. Because no, usually people do not put out proper documentations on these kind of forums, especially in Facebook or anywhere else when they're reaching out to freelancers just for a logo. So I thought I should reach out to you.
Yeah, yeah. So
So
that's right. Yeah, you saw it in one of the graphic design groups, and I posted this
yeah,
Google
yeah,
Doc with all this information saying, here's the kind of business I want to start, and here's my idea, like giving people my thought process, and here's some sketch like logo examples I've drawn, and all this. And so you were impressed with that, because most people are probably just like, oh, I've got a business, I want a logo, or they don't even know
yeah,
what
yeah.
their business
Mostly
is.
it's like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's cool. I appreciate, and I've been getting thousands of messages from like people around the world, and I've also been getting emails like, "Oh, I will help you with your website." And somebody else told me that no, what happens is when you post in a group like this, or there's other people that look for these things and then find your email and then message you. So yeah, it's hard to sort of weed out who's legit or whatever, and especially if you hire somebody in a different country, it's hard to have any recourse if you get ripped off. But yeah, you called me and we actually talked for a couple hours the first time, and then I think we talked for a couple hours another time, and you're one of these rare people who sort of is smart and ambitious and appreciates what I'm trying to do. I met one other guy maybe a month ago. I think I emailed him at a website where they build apps, and we wound up talking for a couple hours, and he talked about how we could start a business and build this together, and he would build me the website for free, and we'd just be in business together, but it would take like a year to build. And so not sure what's going to go on with that, but you're someone like that we can actually talk business, and I enjoy talking to you. And I told you about my podcast. You're like, oh, can I come on your podcast? So I was like, all right, let's see.
Yeah, I did.
And yeah, so I didn't know what we were going to talk about, but you were saying we could talk about. Well, first let me ask about the name of the company, because is it Nex or Nex?
It's Nex. It's New Energetic Extreme Marketing Solutions.
Oh, okay, so
It's
it's new energetic
Nex.
yeah,
Yeah,
energetics extreme, and but it also it's kind of like next, I guess, without
yeah.
the T. But then you
What's
spell
next?
wow, cool. But you spell solutions Solution. So well, I guess it would be pronounced solution.
It's solutions actually. That's basically was something that we were trying to get a domain for. So it happened by automatically that solutions, the correct spelling was not available, but with the typo, the domain was available for it. So we got that off from Namecheap. As so that's a funny
Did,
thing. I thought, you should keep it so it keeps us reminded that where we started and where we are at right now.
that's funny. So when you were searching for it, you actually typed it in wrong, and it said, and you were like, "Hey," and then you're like, "Oh, right," but you got it. That's kind
Actually, I
of fun.
typed in right. I typed the spell right, but it was not available. Then I tried, then I made a typo when I was doing it much faster. So it came out that on Namecheap it was available for .com. So I just went for it, and then I had this idea like, how about use the email and the Facebook page, not on the title of the Facebook page or any of this, like in the username that we should have this typo, just to remember by this strange occurrence that we had while we were, in the early stages of making Nex Marketing Solutions, which is a remote agency. We got like 5 people working under us right now, all across the board, and we do web development and content production and all kind of digital marketing stuff.
Cool. Well,
That's
that's a
how
good.
I.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good story. See, now you've got a story for podcasts and talk shows, and when you're like, giving a TED talk or something like about how did you start the next Google? It's like, well, back then we made a typo and bought and now everybody's knows solution solution. That's that's so funny.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so so what's your history? Like, what are you skilled in, and how did you decide to start a company?
Well, actually, I was a freelance web developer, and after sometimes seeing that there was a lot of scams going on, especially on Fiverr and Upwork, not just from the buyer perspective, but from also from the seller perspective as well. Like people who are freelancing were having a tough time when they go outside of the platform, they get scammed. When they are in the platform, they get scammed, and they can't report it to anyone. And these people were having a tough time getting started as a freelancer, and some of the individuals who live here in third world countries like Pakistan, India, Maldives, and all these places rely on a residual income. So I thought I had this idea how about creating a remote agency that acquires these people and taking the work and just giving it to them so that they can shine with their skills and just take making a build a basically a corporation that basically would in-house individuals like this, just like what Fiverr is doing. But in this way, but in our way, we basically not just provide them the work, we also, employ them as employees. So basically, they get regular work and they can chase out other freelance work as well while they're working for me. But the thing is, with us, they always get steady work and they always get paid. They don't get tricked or scammed, because I was seeing that a lot of people did scam me in the beginning when I was working as a web developer and when I used to do a little bit of graphic design. And I thought it would be a better way to just make a organization that freelancers could come under, and I can actually provide them work and they can respond back to me like an umbrella, you can say.
Yeah, that's a good idea, because I'm sure. I mean, I know from freelancing too. It's scary to never know when your next cut money's coming from, and then it's hard to do anything. It's hard to focus on work. It's hard to focus on looking for work. But if you're hired as an employee and you can feed yourself and pay your rent or whatever you have to do, then that gives you the ability to do your best work and to also be able to find other stuff and become successful. So that's good. And yeah, obviously it's a big issue. Like I just explained, this
Yeah.
is my kind of first experience for the past year hiring people in different countries, but I've realized that, I've gotten scammed twice now, and I'm super diligent. Like I pride myself on being somebody that wouldn't be scammed online, but somehow it's happened twice to me. And then when I started like reading the reviews of the company I just worked with, I was like, oh, I should have looked. Actually, no, I don't think I found any for them that said they were scams, because also they have 3 different websites. Like they go under 3 different businesses, so I guess that's what a lot of these companies do. They just change their name and whatever. But then there was this third company that I was going to hire, and this time I was like, well, let me just look at them up first. And half the reviews are like 5 stars, best thing ever. Oh my god, it changed my life. And then half the reviews are they totally scammed me. The site didn't work. They won't answer my emails anymore. And I'm like, that sounds
That
exactly like what I
happens.
just
It
went.
happens all the time. That's why we
Yeah.
created this because back when I was doing freelancing, you're telling this from buyer perspective, and that's 100% genuine, and it
Mm-hmm.
does happen like 50% of the time. Some mostly with beginners who are relying on some shady platforms like Freelancer or Upwork. I believe that these are legitimate companies registered within the United States or elsewhere, but however, the tactics people are using these platforms for are just to gain free work, and that what happened in your case. Like they tricked you, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this was both of those, actually, all 3 of them, I just found on my own, like Googling, website developers who can build this kind of website. Um, and so uh, I haven't even tried. I mean, I've also posted ads on, I guess, freelancer.com, but I got so many messages and I was like, I don't know how to choose someone. And I also wasn't sure if they could even build it. Like I know developers can build a basic website where I would post information about myself, but I'm actually trying to build like a commerce site, like a content, like a Facebook, like where people post
Like a
content and
platform,
stuff.
right?
Yeah, and so that seems to be more of a difficult thing, and I think that's what um, these websites are preying on, because they know people like me might be like, oh, I want to start my own site, and they do something, they make something that sort of looks like it works, and then you pay them, and then they're gone. Um, so then, but I also know what you're saying in terms of workers having trouble getting their money. Like I think I tried doing voice acting. Like I do most of my voice acting now on like voices.com, where the money's in escrow. So once you do the job, you get paid and the money's already there and you're pretty much covered. Um, but I tried once on maybe it was freelancer.com or some little website like that where they also posted um, voice jobs, and I did a voice job for someone and then they just never paid me. And I was like, how can this be? Like, so
That happened.
yeah, so I just got frustrated there too. And even on this other voice site I did a job for, it looked like they weren't going to pay me for months, and they finally did. So I don't know if it was a scam or if you just have to bother them for a long time. But yeah, so and that's frustrating too. When you do the work, you just want to get your money and be done with it. You don't want to have to be chasing someone and then feel like, oh my God, I just got ripped off. So it's good that you're solving it on both ends. And how do you think you would demonstrate to people that you're legit? Like, how would I know that your company is legit as opposed to all these other freelancers that either don't do their
So,
work or yeah.
well, if I wasn't legit or if I were running a shady operation, I would never tell you like where I'm based. Like most of these shady operation sites, basically they try to pretend to be within the United States, somewhere else, like any foreign country. They always use numbers that are not traceable and emails that basically are like sample emails made with Gmail or temp email, so they can just dispose it after the job is done. So first of all, our email is made on Gmail, but we basically take emails. We do customer support. If any of you, if for example, the platform that we are going to be building for you, if it goes down, if anything happens, you have 1 year maintenance for free with us. That means you can hit me up. I get my team ready, and they do the work for me. So basically, we don't shy away from these kind of questions. And the fact is that I disclosed my location. I came willingly onto a call. And the thing is that we have a customer base globally, basically in the US and Canada. One of our fine Canadian clients is Ryan. He's currently not doing well. He's basically has a surgery, but we've had a very fun time working with him, especially with this charity. We got to do a lot of good things and got to learn a lot about how the healthcare system works, and we try to provide as many people we try to provide people with value. We show our portfolio, a collective portfolio as a group of 5 individuals, including me, like 6 individuals. And that's it. Yeah, we show our work. We basically are transparent in all our dealings and don't shy away from any kind of questions like these.
Yeah, so I mean that's good. I was just curious because when I asked the last company questions like that, they give similar answers like, "Oh yeah, no, of course it's guaranteed." Like, you can say whatever you want. Um, and they also have a website, and they would email back from their legitimate
Mhm.
domain. So that's partly why I used them because I thought, well, who would go to this much trouble, to talk to me for months ahead of time and have a website with a demo and all? Like, why go to all
So
that trouble to get a couple of grand out of me or something? And so I figured, well, and then my friend who runs a computer store in Ottawa, he's like, well, you got to take a chance on these things. But now I've learned, you know what? I'm not paying anybody up front for something when there's no recourse. But but
I see.
and after talking to you, I thought, yeah, no, this guy seems legit, especially that we were bouncing job ideas around. But I would think it would still be
Yeah.
difficult for people, people that aren't me to go, oh, I don't know, is this guy legit? Like, how do you stand out from all these other
Right.
scams?
Right. It happens whenever you get burned once for anything in life, it happens. And one more thing, man. I basically last time we were communicating last night, we can say technically, because it was nighttime over here. I shared you a contract, right? Like it's a e-form. Like
Yep.
you can sign it up and you put your signature in. And basically, what it does, if you went through it, it has a disclaimer that you can go against, dispute against anything that goes against your will. Like if he scam you or if you run away with the work, if you run away with the work, it's basically a mutual contract that saves both of our parties. And scam companies, that the one that you're talking about, don't do contracts. They always ask for upfront payments and they always ask for details so that they can pretend that they're doing the work for you. But the fact is they are not doing the work for you. They're just buying some time and just, putting you on a hook or,
Yeah, well,
so you in later.
yeah, well, I mean, I did realize. I mean, they did send me like a PDF document to sign that was 17 pages long. So I mean, they're making it look legit. So I assumed okay. But I think what I've learned is okay. So I've got a contract. Who the hell? How would I even pursue that in India to go after a contract thing? So I think the contract. I mean, anybody can write up a contract, but I guess in the end, if it's different countries and stuff, I think a lot of it you would rely on reputation. Like, those guys can spend all their time trying to scam people and then they'll get horrible reviews and they'll change their name. And so it's a lot of sort of spending a lot of time. Because it made me wonder, it's like, why don't they just do the job? Like, if they could build it. I think at the end, I just said, listen, okay, fine. The site doesn't do what you said it would do, it doesn't work. How much time and cost would it cost to make this work? And they just never got back to me. So clearly they can't even do it. So it makes me realize, I guess, and somebody, I don't know if it was you or somebody told me that, yeah, it's actually worth their time if they can just scam enough people like you, 10, 20 people a year with all their crap, then they make a living from it. And that's kind of their thing.
I told you that.
Yeah. So that was you. So then, oh, yeah. But I mean, I guess the other way to make money is to actually be, and I guess it's more difficult to be legitimate. Like they probably don't know how to build a website, or it would be too much work for them. Um, but if you do know how to do things and you can build a legitimate company, I would think that that could be very lucrative as well. Because there are tons of, I mean, for as an example,
Hmm.
everybody like me, all these people who got scammed, they actually do want to get something built and they've got money and they want to pay for it. So if there was somebody legit doing it, these people would have that company would have good reputation, they would get more customers. And if it was somebody like you that comes on my podcast and goes on my YouTube and everybody goes, okay, I'm getting scammed on every other website, but this guy's legit and now they've got referrals, and then if I make money, I'll be like, hey, I've got an idea for another website. Hey, can you build this? And then you could have this actual company, and I would think you'd feel better about yourself too, rather than knowing, okay, I made my living scamming Canadians. I don't know. uh, so that's cool, and yeah, you're the first person I've done an interview with, so from this kind of
First of
company.
all, Canadians are some of the best people. Like I believe they are the most hospitable people. Like they welcome you with open arms, right? Like in North America, they're not like like harsh like Americans. Americans are good people too, But what I have heard and what I've seen from mainstream media and from other people as well, that Canadians are more open and welcoming than compared to Americans, right?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the stereotype. um, It might be true. I mean, we're known as kind of the nice people, but there's jerks everywhere. I meet a lot of jerks here. And also I have found somehow when I go to the US, I seem to meet people better. Like maybe it's just been women on dating sites, but if I go to Miami or Chicago, I feel like I just meet all these women. Everybody wants to meet up and people are nice. But that also might be because I'm traveling. Um, but yeah, in both countries, in general, I mean, there's jerks everywhere, but people are pretty nice and
You're
open.
right.
Yeah, so it's a good country. And then when I do travel and I come back, I go, oh, I appreciate like, hey, we've got healthcare, we've got, the buildings are well made, we've got laws. It's a pretty comfortable place. The one thing I don't really like
Yeah.
is the
Hockey
winters.
as well.
What's that?
You have ice hockey as well.
Yes, ice hockey is kind of our national sport, and my niece is 9 and my nephew is 7, and they've been playing hockey for a few years, and they're like the best hockey players in their city for their age, and they play with older
You have field
kids.
hockey as well, right?
Yeah, field hockey. I remember there was field hockey teams at my high school, and girls love playing that, so that's kind of a summer thing. And I think because winter's so long here, like summer basically started in June here. Like that's when it got nice, June, July, and now it's August and it's going to start getting cold again like in September.
I
And
see.
so we look for sports that we can do in the winter so that it makes life
That makes
tolerable.
sense.
Yeah, it's like
That
because
kind of makes sense.
my mom has cross country skis here that she'll go cross country skiing in the winter, or I used to downhill ski when I was a kid, and it's like okay now, or I live beside the canal, which is used to be the longest skating rink in the world. I think maybe they've built
I see.
somewhere else, but in the winter it freezes and then people come out and skate. But with global warming, it doesn't even freeze that much anymore, so it's only good for like a month or two in the middle of the winter. But even that gives people something to look forward to.
Oh, we
Um,
don't have snow here at all. Like
yeah.
my whole life, I've never seen snow.
Wow.
Like,
Well, it's pretty
yeah,
nice, but you're not missing out on too much. Like when I go for my jog in the winters and I'm like, oh, I want to film. I guess in the summer I film ducks on the canal, but in the winter I'm like, oh, I want to film the skaters or something. Sometimes it's so cold. If I take off my glove to use my camera, I'm like, like my hand starts hurting and I have to put it
yeah,
back on.
that's blood gets clogged up. I heard about it. In the northern parts of Pakistan, it does snow, but again, it's very rare. Like it's once in a
Yeah.
blue moon that it will, really go out all out. But it happens, especially in the north, because those are the mountainous areas of our country. Where I'm at, it's considered a desert. Like Sindh is a desert.
Wow. I guess people say that they like living here because they like the changing of the seasons. It's spring, it's fall, it's summer, like winter. It's like different. And if you're living in Florida, it's kind of always summer. So people miss that. I don't know. I'd have to think about whether I care about the changing of the seasons. I think I would like to live somewhere warm and then I could go visit snow for a bit and then get out. Because I feel like you can do more. Like in the winter here, I feel like, and especially it gets dark early at like 3 or 4 o'clock, and it's just so cold, and you're not going to go for a walk or anything. So I feel like you have less life. It's like like for 8 months of the year, you're just waiting for it to get warmer so you can go out and do things, and that's not really a way to live. But whatever. I think if I had a
Sure.
wife and kids, I might like it better because I'd be have people to do things with, and just because I feel kind of alone now, winter is even harder to deal with. But we'll see. Maybe if we make our websites and they make lots of money, I promised my sister I would make millions of dollars very soon, and then I can buy a mansion in Florida. I can come live in Pakistan. Who knows what I'm going to do?
Well, you can, branch out some of your work over here. We can
Uh,
expansion in minutes because opening a business in Pakistan, it's not like what you guys used to experience back in 2008. It's now much more faster under the new government. Like it's called Naya Pakistan. Like it's Urdu for New Pakistan. Like the prime minister is very willing to put IT and IT exports upfront to the other nations. Like if someone wants to invest or if people are basically working overseas, they get incentives and they basically get appreciation from the government. So you're more than happy to expand here, and it will be much more easy to expand in South Asia if you or someone that you know that might be interested in expanding their business here. Especially if it's a tech-based business, then you have a lot of opportunities here.
yeah, yeah. Does everybody there like? Is it? Are there actually a lot of web developers in like Pakistan and India, or is it just because that's what I'm looking for those things in those countries that I see? It feels like there's a lot of people, or is like everybody a web developer there.
Well, I don't know about everybody. Like most
Not
of the
everybody.
us like are freelancing, and there's a huge reason behind that because you got like when you have an educated population that has education above high school level and does not have the jobs to survive, then people look to alternate sources like they go into other things like they start their own businesses online or traditional businesses if they have the money. If they don't have the money, they start with freelancing, they gain experience, then they turn that into a business. And that's how the new generation is surviving because thing is today and even in the past there is a lack of jobs, there is always a lack of jobs, and that's what this government is trying to do. It's basically trying to close that gap of those lack of jobs, so people like me and people that you're seeing like all these web developers can get some work. And yes, there's a lot of developers over here, front end, back end. We have the highest number of back-end developers over here. What I know from personal experience, because I hire locally a lot, and app developers are also here. Like Flutter developers are like flooded. Like you can find a Flutter developer for cheap, like for 10,000, 25,000 rupees. That's very low. Like that's starting a minimum wage.
A
So
what?
yeah,
What are
a
they
lot of
called? A what
people.
developer?
A Flutter developer. A Flutter is basically like a framework that basically lets you convert any app into cross-platform. Like you can, if you are making an app on Android, you can basically get that to basically a web-based app or an iOS app. Like you can get multiple versions by just coding just one sample of an app on Dart.
Wow. See, yeah, I don't know anything about this stuff. I wish I did, but on the other hand, if I filled my head with that, I might not be able to do my other stuff. So it's good to have an expert like you. So what exactly does your company do? So if you're like Next Marketing Solutions, is it marketing or you build people websites and apps or what is it?
Well, Nex Marketing Solutions is a digital marketing agency at first, and what we're trying to do is basically we are trying to help small business owners all over the globe, not just in Pakistan, not just in the North American side of the world, like anywhere in the world, whoever reaches out to us to our website, we try to make sure that we get their business online as fast as possible by making them a website, a funnel, or by doing running their ads or building their brand on social media platforms or outside of social media on the search engine like Google or Bing. So basically, we offer three core services. We have web development, digital marketing, and we have content production. And we try to basically, take your business, a traditional business like a mom and pop shop, and we try to bring it on the internet with without, going without letting you go through the whole hassle of learning how a website works, how this or that works. We make sure that we take the information from you, like domain and hosting, and we make sure that all of the stuff is basically protected under your privacy, and basically we can provide you the best quality service on basically our expertise so that you have a fast working website and people know where it is and you can get more foot traffic coming in to your regular business.
All right, all right. And yeah, I mean that's a good business to be in because I listen to a lot of Ty Lopez and he's always talking about how that's that's a good like he calls it making a social media marketing agency. Like there's mom and pop shops where these people know how to sell their car repairs or their bagels or whatever, but they don't know about the internet and they don't know about social media, and you can go in and get them online and take care of it for
Yeah,
them. So yeah, you're doing that kind of thing.
exactly. We're doing that kind of thing, but we're doing it for people who get, ripped off by individuals on the internet. Like when someone like a barbershop owner, like a plumber, these people don't know how the web works, right? And they don't have time. They already are swapped. Like 24 hours of a day, they have gigs. Like they gotta hit one house, then they gotta go to the other house. They have to cut this guy's here, that guy's here. They don't have time to learn how web development works, how Google Ads works, and most of their money will be generated by getting an online presence, right? So what we do, we come in, we take their button, make the website for them, we promote it for them, and then we just charge them, a decent uh, fee for the work. And most of our work is basically highly discounted. So we are trying to support the small guys so that they can grow and we can grow with them. That's our main goal, to be honest.
Yeah, and how do you get your business? Like, me, you just happen to randomly see my post in a Facebook group. Like, how are you getting these other clients?
Most of the people basically reach out to us on our website. We have a contact form, and you can just fill that out, and you can basically send in your inquiry. And what happens is I get an email for that contact form, and basically then I reach out to the individual by calling them on Skype, or if I have their number, I have this app that I made to Trello, and basically what it does is basically lets me call any number in the world for a brief period of time, like 20 to 30 minutes. And yeah, that's how we try to, tell them about us and try to, get them on board within 20 to 30 minutes because we can't go that much fast, for the like it can't do a call for like 1 hour or so. So
Uh,
we just are limited to that.
so that's
So
how
that's
when
how.
you're texting me or whatever, it's coming from a
Yeah. It's
area
through
code.
the app.
And you built that app, or you're saying that's the Trello app?
Actually, we basically use Trello and we basically built the app on that, and we basically took some source code, but at the moment it's not commercial. Like we are not selling that app. It's just
Mhm.
for our personal use, and we're just using it for our business. You must have heard about WebRTC, which is real-time communication that Text Now uses. Text Now is a Canadian company,
Oh,
and
text now, yeah.
we have some of their source code that we acquired from Slack. I believe it's theirs or someone else's, and then we just basically I just gave it to one of my developers, and he just whipped us a simple web-based app that through which we can text and we can call. But we have only 20 to 30 minutes.
Hmm. Oh, here's a question for you, because like just since you mentioned text now, and I've got like a bunch of these free texting apps, so if I, don't uh, want to pay texting charges or something. But also, like, say I've been, and it's funny, I was talking to a woman tonight on a dating app saying she's been kicked off Tinder, and I've dealt with things like that too. For who knows, somebody reports me because they think I'm fake, and now you're banned for life for your phone number. It happens to people all the time. Do you? But
Yeah, yeah.
if I try to sign up with a different phone number like Text Now, usually I think all of these text apps um, it doesn't work because Tinder or OkCupid or Bumble, they're looking for an actual phone number. They can tell the difference between a real phone number and just like a fake texting phone number. Or some of these apps, it seems to say if you buy their premium version, then they'll allow you to, use the phone verification service. But do you have an app, or could you build me something, or where I could sign up for Tinder and you could give me a phone number that would actually work for my phone number verification?
Well, Josh, right. To be honest, what you're saying is basically sipping. Like these companies use AWS. These are servers that are connected to your phone number. So whenever you're making a call, you're using the server as a gateway to connect to a telecom operator within that country, and through the proxy that's made through that whole gateway transaction, the call happens. So these numbers are SIP generated numbers, and they are basically not just they're not good for any verification, because when you basically sign up for something, you put in your number, it basically does a double shake hand gesture with the operator. What it basically does, it just tells the operator that this number, these last three digits, are trying to communicate with this service party. So what their AI does is they basically sends a text to your SMSing services so that you can get the code, right? But these numbers cannot do that at all. And yes, we are working on something like this. We're trying to make our version go from 20 to 30 minutes to for 1 hour conversation, as we believe that's possible. And we know that there's a hole in the market right now because text now does provide you the ability to do unlimited calls and messages, but you cannot sign up for services like Tinder or Snapchat or this or that with it because of this whole problem that I just told you about. So what we're trying to do is trying to make sure that our app becomes commercial. But however, we can't make it commercial right now because the source code is someone else. We're trying to whip up something of our own with WebRTC so that people can make calls. Like if I'm sitting in Pakistan and I want to make a call in Bermuda, and if I have the number of Bermudan office or any individual, I can just simply make the call through my Wi-Fi. because what you people don't commonly know that whenever you travel to the Middle East, where most of our workers go, like blue collar people go from our country, they suffer to communicate with their loved ones. Like the government over there is so strict that they don't let you talk with each other. Like you don't, you have to sign up for something in order to use WhatsApp and Skype. So, and a normal phone call is very expensive. So we're working on this. It's called Connect. It's not out for the population right now. So what it does is basically uses the Wi-Fi on your phone. Basically, it's and you can dial a number just like text now. It works exactly like text now, but you can connect to anyone in the world. It's not just limited to North America. It's limited to anybody who has a cellular number that's connected to a proper PBX connection, like a proper telecom connection. And I hope we can get this out soon because I think there's a huge hole in the market for this.
Yeah, like for example, I do this speed dating event that I host, and I'm part of their influencers. So if I get somebody to sign up, I get a fee. Um, but right now their website only works with North America phone numbers. So if I'm talking to I'm in Facebook groups for singles around the world. So I know all these women in Africa and in Vietnam and Philippines. And I'm like, hey, you should come to this thing, but they can't do it. I don't even know if they could use text now from there. Um,
I
but
think they
that's
can.
Oh, so maybe they could actually. I've been using my text now number to sign them up, and now I'm swamped with all their things. So I should tell them just make your own number, and I don't have to deal with this. Um, and then another thing I'm trying to figure out is like I've got a lot of affiliate links that I share for
Mhm.
signing up for apps and stuff, and then I get a referral fee if people sign up. But most of them only work in Canada or the U.S. Most of them just the U.S., not even Canada. But I'm like, oh man, if there was like affiliate links that would pay you a couple of bucks if somebody signed up for the app or an account somewhere, and you could use them in the Philippines or Pakistan or Africa, that would be a huge market. So I want to see if I can
Yeah,
find something like that. Or
basically, you can do this. You can make a peer-to-peer link sharing system on which basically it will be like a forum, but you can there could be someone who basically becomes a moderator or someone who becomes the post administrator. What he or she will do basically they will just post a link, their affiliate link, and when people will sign up, they will just get the update that this many people have signed up through the platform, and the platform that's paying you, you can basically double check with them, and then you can just basically automatically send everyone a link to which they can get the money. Like they can get the money directly to their PayPal, or they can ask you, basically send you a request for the money that you basically they have generated for you by signing up for the platform. You can do it like that, or the other way is that you can basically make an app that basically lets every individual sign up, and you can basically share the commissions. Like people can share the commissions with each other, like a proper peer-to-peer thing. So if I get $50 for signing up for your thing, and you get something in return, you can actually give me the profit as well, and I can give you the other profit as well. That way it will be balanced, and a lot of people can benefit from
yeah,
affiliate links much more.
yeah, because that would be a huge thing. So I'm starting to realize there's all these Facebook groups for different things, uh, that I'm realizing, hey, I'm in this group. There's all these people in this group. If there was a website that did this, people would want it. So that's an example. Because I've been trying to share my affiliate links, and I just searched for referral links on Facebook, and there's tons of groups where people are sharing their referral links. And then they'll post things like, I'm paying people. Like some guy messaged me and I'll say, I'll pay you $50 to sign up for Acorn through my link. And it's because
Mhm.
if he gets 5 people to sign up, he gets like $500, uh, or something like that. So people are unofficially trying to figure this out, but of course it's difficult to know if somebody signs up, are they really going to PayPal you the money? Why would they? uh, it's this whole thing. But if there was a one-stop, a legit place where you knew, okay, this guy's got a good reputation, and I know that if I sign up through his link, I'll get my cut and he'll get his cut, so that would be good. So there's
Yeah,
another thing
some
we
way
could build.
that some platform that can hold the money for both parties, like what Fiverr does or what Payoneer does.
Yeah.
Payoneer actually holds your money, then it basically lets you withdraw it once the verification is done, right? So you can make a forum or a site. Like what happens is when basically A posts a link and B signs up for the link. And if A gets any commission from his affiliate, then B gets paid by A. And the money, first of all, goes to the platform, then to A's account. Like you can do it that way. And then A can just withdraw it with PayPal or Stripe. You can do it with this kind of a business model.
I
It's
like it. I like it.
doable.
So, so hopefully, by us discussing this in the podcast, we haven't screwed ourselves by giving everybody the idea. But I've been listening to this guy James Altucher, who says, he shares all his ideas with everyone because he has an abundant mindset. He's always like, I feel like if I give away an idea, I've got another idea, and if I tell people what I'm working on, you know what? If they do it and they do it better than me, then good for them. And most people aren't going to do it anyway, so probably nobody's stealing it. So we'll just use that as an example of wow, look how smart we both are, so people should hire us for things or something.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it happens is that some ideas are actually bad ideas, but as we thought of those ideas in our heads, and they look, pretty like billion-dollar ideas in our head. That's why we think those ideas are good, but in a way, those ideas are not even monetizable, and they are not that good. Because I had some ideas that I implemented that basically went south, like a YouTube channel, like that would do top 10 videos, basically like an e-commerce store that only sell soccer goods, like like soccer balls that you can brand by any image that you want. These all these ideas have gone south. Like I never properly launched them. I never got to tell anybody about them because when I basically made these sites, these that print on demand site that I was talking about, or the channel, it never picked up. Some ideas are bad ideas. They don't do well.
Yeah, like I met this guy on this Shaper app. It's like a networking Tinder kind of thing. And after a year, after we'd met, he's like, "Hey, I finally finished this app. I want you to MC my launch party." So I was the funny comedian at this event he had at a bar, and it was like a Tinder he built. I think he was working at Amazon. He's from India, but he moved to like Canada to work at Amazon, and then he left his job at Amazon to work on this app. And the idea was that it was called PB&J, and the idea was that uh, you instead of swiping through pictures of people, you'd swipe through pictures of food, and then if you like, oh, I like spaghetti, I like that picture of spaghetti at a local restaurant, and then if a girl swipes on the spaghetti as well, okay, now you're both a match, and then now you can see each other's pictures, and then you can match. So it's like a double. You have to match twice, and then eventually you get to talk, and then because
It's not
people
a bad
bond.
idea.
It's I wasn't awful because his thought was like people bond over food and like the what you don't know what to do on a
Yeah.
date. Well, now you both like spaghetti, go eat that food. And so it would pull in images from Google of like local restaurants, and then you would already know where to meet. So I'm not sure if the idea was bad or the app just didn't work very well. Because when I was trying it, it was very glitchy. Like I couldn't get my messages, nobody was on it, and I think he eventually just abandoned it. And I'm like, man, he spent like a year or two or longer building this thing, and it just never went anywhere. So that can be frustrating. Um, so
You guys were building this on iOS, Swift.
I don't know how he built it. I had nothing to do with it. I just helped him with the party to launch it and announce it. Um, I remember at some point at the end he said, "Listen, if you want to take the code or whatever, you can go, use it for your own Tinder or something." And maybe at the time I was like, "Oh yeah," and I didn't think about it. But I emailed him like recently, saying, "Hey, can I still have that?" And I think the emails bounced back or something. I haven't heard back from him, and I can't find him. Um, so who knows what's going on there? But yeah, I've always wanted my own Tinder because that's what I keep thinking. Like every time I get banned from something, I'm like, you know what? Why don't I don't want? Why am I giving them money anyways? Why don't I build my own Tinder or something? So if you can help me build something like that, and I keep wondering like what'll be the thing? Is it specifically for digital nomads or farmers or do I just make it general for everyone? Or is there a
Well,
way to?
what would be a pretty good idea? A pretty good idea would be like, creating a freelance marketplace where people can, hire people for cryptocurrency. Like people can pay, with crypto, like BitPay. And these could not just be like a regular freelance job, like creating a simple website. This could be like big things like creating a platform, creating like a portal, doing government-based work, and they can pay the individual with Bitcoin, because governments could afford, like, especially China has their own coin right now, right?
Yeah, but how much? I mean, because what I found, like people I've been talking to about like building my Patreon or something, have been saying, no, you've been looking for clones that are like $100 a month or $2,000 or $2,500. The problem is anything like that's going to be a scam. To actually build something like that that can compete on that level is going to cost you at least $100,000 or $1 million or something. So can
Well,
somebody?
that's true and not true. It can be done. The only reason they're telling you that is because, again, what I discussed with you, when previously we were having that call, that these kind of sites take bandwidth and they take huge server space because you're going to be allowing, accounts to be made on the site that will take partitions on the server. So that means you need more space on server, you need more bandwidth, and or the money that will be just going into tech, and then you will need have a team like that could shoot out troubles that occurs, like if something goes down, if the guys get a hack, if there's any kind of legal concern. You need to have a tech-based team, a legal-based team, some branding team, so that you can get foot traffic. That's why they are saying that it's going to cost that much. But if you want to just develop the site, it's not going to cost that much, to be honest. You just need the tech part to be on point, like the server. It has to be the biggest it could be, like the fastest it could be. Like I recommend AWS for these kind of work because it's like a whole different ball game with that thing. Like it's a computer that you're virtually accessing. And
Yeah,
but it could be done on other things as well, because if you're just starting, DigitalOcean, Namecheap can provide you the starter that you are looking for. But I strongly recommend AWS, or like Amazon Workplace Server is the best thing to go with.
yeah, I heard about them because they decided they didn't like uh, Parler, which is like kind of the more uncensored version of Facebook, and then they just shut them down. They just took them off the internet, and it's like whoa. So I mean, Amazon has a lot of power. It's kind of scary, but I mean, who else is there? I guess it's but that's a larger discussion. Well, that's good to know. So yeah, so if somebody's like me and is coming up with actual ideas and wants to see if they're getting done, because I remember I was talking to real estate agents when I was trying to sell my condo a couple of years ago, and there's this one guy I met with a few times. He was from Russia, and I was trying to come up with website ideas for business. He's like, "Oh yes, I've got developers in Russia. They can build this and that," and I'm like, "Who knows? Who knows if that was all a scam or what that was?" Too, it's all scary, so it's hard to know what's legit. But everybody, even Tim Ferriss, like when I read the 4 Hour Work Week, he's saying like get a virtual assistant and all this. Um, but you get them from India or Philippines or something because people can work for less there because of the exchange rate and everything.
Yeah, one more
Um,
thing I want to correct. I said Amazon Workplace Server. It is actually Amazon web-based server, and it's a
yeah,
cloud solution that you can use for these kind of heavy projects. And yeah, you're right. You shouldn't do anything alone. And for Russians are one of the best developers that you can find all around the globe. These
mhm.
guys are rock solid. Like they can track your government operations open, like so they can act, if they can do that kind of level of work, they can actually deliver a platform based site. It's much easier for them.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I guess that's what somebody was saying. They were like, these people are in demand, so if they can do that, if somebody can hack the Pentagon, why would they build me a website for $1,000? Who knows? It's a whole other
They
world.
could,
But
ask, they could. These people are more open. They're not like the typical thing that you guys think of over there, like scary people who drink vodka and try to kill people. They're
yeah,
not. They're not like that at all. They're
not all of
actually
them.
very friendly and very open. Some of the people that I have learned, most of my work is basically are Russians, and some are Indians, and most of them are American. But uh, yeah, that's the thing. When you have global teachers, you get ahead much faster.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure there's good people, and I would hope that most people are decent. It's not really about the country. There's scammers in Russia, there's scammers in Canada. It's just that I guess the certain countries get known for certain scams. Like everybody gets their spam mail from Nigeria. I am a Nigerian prince, and
Yeah,
I will send you $3 million
that happened to
dollars.
me.
What's that?
That happened to me as well, but it was someone pretending to be from Apple customer service, and I
Mm.
don't even own an Apple device.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You. Haha, you got them. Um, that's funny that you're getting like people in Pakistan are getting scammed by people in Nigeria. So everybody's scamming everybody. Uh, but hopefully people listen to this podcast and they go, oh well, NEX sounds legit, or at least they're willing to spend an hour on a podcast on their scam. So we might as well reward them for the effort. Um, so yeah, so if people listen to this and they're like, "Wow, I want to build something through Adnan," like if they mention that Josh Rachlis or Celebrity Josh or Spark the Genius sent them, whatever my name of the day is, you'll give them like a special deal, right?
Sure, like we will give them 50% off on their any of their offer. Like we'll build them a platform, and then we will do branding for them as well and marketing as well. So they will get the whole thing just to start their online business in week or so, like 2 or 3 weeks or so. And
Sweet,
yeah,
sweet. So maybe if I pick a website name, I'll even make a code. Or no, I don't know. Or maybe people will go to like yourwebsite.com/ you know Spark the Genius or Spark. Do you like Spark the Genius as my name, or do you like Celebrity Josh, or do you like Juicebox or Josh Rackless? I don't know.
whatever goes with you, man. Like all
Yeah,
those names sounds good.
yeah, they're all
But
good.
whatever it's with you, we can
Okay. Oh, and
use
that
that.
yeah. So I had an idea. Just when you were talking about T-shirts earlier, I was remembering. Do you know? Because my new idea is like I want to just have some shirts with logos or cartoons I draw on them. And I've been researching how do you do it. And there's a website where you can type in
Print on
text and
demand.
it'll make a thing. What's that?
Print on demand, right? Like it's print on demand. It's like it's a niche in basically drop shipping. People are
Yeah,
making
yeah.
their own site platforms as well, like Printify, Teesprings.
Yeah, no, I've got affiliate links for all of those, I think, and I have a page on T Public, I think. So I put in my Celebrity Josh logo, and you can buy a T-shirt or a mug or whatever. So I've done that, but I find it difficult. I don't know. I had a designer friend who sort of just took my hand drawn logo and made it, the kind of image that it cuts it out, so you can put it on a shirt and see through it, kind of thing. But I don't even know how to do that. Like if I drew another cartoon, like is it Illustrator or some kind of program has to find the drawing and then make it a see-through image that you can post on things? Is that the kind of things you guys could do if I drew something or said I want a lightning bolt for Spark or
Yeah,
that kind of thing?
like illustrations. You're talking about the basically like comic illustrations, right? The ones that you see commonly, like in like for example, the Flash logo that's very common on T-shirts,
Yeah.
or something like a rabbit or something. Anything that gets cartoonized, like The Simpsons or something like that.
Yeah,
Basically, a illustration.
like anything yeah, like any t-shirt with an illustration or a graphic or something. Here, I'll show. I'm just calling up. Sorry for people who are listening to this, but this is my I'm showing up on my phone. Like this is my T Public store. um so I drew, that's just my logo, and then my designer friend kind of made
That's not bad.
like a clear version of. I just drew it as an experiment quick, and then I just wound up using my rough drawing. But because it's like a, I don't know what you call this kind of image, you can print it on white, but you can also print it on a black T-shirt, and it shows up in white. Like it's like a thing that you can see through, and that's my other logo I drew with just my name and
That's an outline vector image, by the way,
a
Josh,
vector.
and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's on point. Like
Yeah,
the
so
theme that you're going for, it's pretty good. Like it's properly on point, and it's not that done that bad. It's pretty good, by the way. Did you
yeah, so my
do it by yourself, or did the designer friend did it for you?
no, like I drew it, and then I sent it. I guess I scanned it and I sent it to my friend um, Donna, who I met when I was in Chicago, like training from Al Gore to be a climate leader. Um, and I, and so she's in Seattle, and she did it for me. She was just helping me out with my designs for a bit, and now she's too busy. So, and I don't know how she ever did it. So I'm wondering, like, should I figure out how to do this on my own, or are there people who could do that easily for me? Because I don't want to. People always like, I don't want to pay too much because I'm not even making any money from it yet. So it's like I just want to figure out how to make. But I like drawing my doodles, and I feel like if I do little cartoons every day, maybe I could even say, here's the cartoon of the day that you can put on a T-shirt or something. So I don't know. I'll figure it out. But do you have designers that you could make vectors for T-shirts, that kind of thing?
Yeah, we basically do branding and design, but we hardly get these kind of jobs anymore because we don't take them. And what we do get, when we do get them for people who are running print on demand stores, we take them because these are pretty good, these are pretty fun, I personally do some of the work myself, so I'm well aware of how these things are done,
All right.
and also manage these stores as well. We have a separate service called the Entrepreneur Special, in which we basically set up your print on demand store. We basically do all the designs for you, and we market the store for you as well. Like it's like $500 a month for that.
Hmm. Sweet. Well, maybe I'll start cranking out some inspirational sayings and some fun drawings for Spark the Genius, and we'll go to town because I definitely like I'm doing a comedy act in a couple of weeks, and I definitely want to have a T-shirt for that where people can go to my website and remember who I am. And then I want to make some business cards. I got lots of plans, but I'm excited now that I've met somebody who is smart and thinks big. Because a lot of the web developers too, I talk to, like even ones that are, I guess I assume they're legit. They're just like, well, what do you want? Tell me what you want, and I'll do it. Or what are the features you want? But you're actually like when we talk, it's like, oh, you could do this, you could do that. Like it's building on each other. Because it's
Yeah,
hard for me. Yeah.
because I just don't freelance anymore, and basically I have a team of people that basically are skilled and well equipped when it comes to delivering these kind of big projects, and we have the know around. We communicate on a day-to-day basis. Whenever we take a project, whenever we take something from a client's end, like we're doing something big, we basically close everything of all projects. Like I was telling you like last time, we close everything and we just work on them, and we basically do back and forward collaborations with each other. So it's not just me. That's why I can offer so many services, because I have expertise in different areas. Plus, I have a team that basically supports and has those expertise. They basically specialize in those kind of work. So it's pretty easy for all of us to work together and provide an ecosystem for each other.
Yeah, that's my dream to be like if I can find a designer that can do stuff and I can come up with ideas and draw them and I just know we can work together and then like if I write a song and I've got musicians I can help record in advertising I used to have people who would help me like my art director or sound houses would help me with my music and my comedy um, my videos because I was bringing them commercial work but now nobody helps me but it's good to have a team like you now and then oh yeah that was my one last question because when you're talking about like, oh, the barbershop guy finds you online and then messages you, like, how are they finding you? Like, what are they searching for? Because on Google, there's millions and millions of web developers and online marketers and all this crap. Like, what barbershop is finding you in Pakistan and filling out your form? How does that happen?
Well, it's not just in Pakistan. Basically, we basically work for anybody who basically fills up the form and is willing to be transparent and is willing to not just scam us. To be honest, because a lot of people livelihood is connected to me, and the way people find us is by just doing a simple Google search. We have a small YouTube channel. We are trying to put more content over there. Plus, we have a Facebook page, and we put out content over there as well. It started with Instagram when I was freelancing, and I try to build basically a reputation on the internet by this key phrase Nex Marketing Solutions, and that's how our company basically gets the traffic. It's all organic. It's coming through Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and a little bit from YouTube. But we have very few videos over there, and because we are basically packed whole year, so we don't get time to do much content like you do. Like I was stunned by your YouTube channel because we provide content production as well, like editing for YouTubers as well. So we have a team for that as well. So when one guy basically brought up your channel, I was blown away because I basically used to watch your videos back in 2017, and you basically came onto my YouTube feed when I was searching comedians, know. And I was blown away when I basically got to meet you, and now I'm basically talking to you, from friends like one of a bucket list kind of a
Well,
thing.
that's insane. I did not know that. I'm like,
Yeah,
what? Well, so that's good. So then it's good that I've been posting crap for a while because, I haven't felt like what is the, I feel like what's the point of all this? But I mean, if somebody around the world can sort of discover it, then maybe there's a point. Well, that's
stuff is fun.
exciting.
You just gotta give it some time. Your material is good. You just gotta give it some time to shine with other people.
Got to give it some time and just be disciplined in actually doing it. Like I know I'm good and like, I wrote one act and won first prize this time. Like it's just it's just okay. Well, then keep doing it. Like, I've been following this girl on Instagram in LA, and she's this comedian, and she's Chinese, and her whole thing is with her, it's like a very thick Chinese accent, and but she also plays this Uber driver. She pretends she's driving an Uber, and she's got all her comedian friends in the back as guests and improvises these things. I'm like, these are great, and I should be cranking these things out every day. And I think that would help my depression too. Just feeling like, okay, I'm actually producing something every day. I'm getting things out there for the world. I owe it to the world to do my thing. So I'll keep doing that. You've inspired me. And yeah, I mean, of course, I'll put this on my YouTube, and maybe that'll help, right? Like, you don't have time to be posting on YouTube every day, but if I interview you once a week and you're like, hey, what's your social media tip of the week or whatever, then we'll start cranking it out, and we'll be like Gary V, and we'll get out there, and hopefully your name isn't hurting you. Like, if people see solutions spelled wrong, they're going to be like, oh, this guy doesn't speak English.
It's actually it's on the website, and everywhere it's spelled properly. Like,
Oh,
we make sure that the typo was removed, and it basically was something that we did on purpose, as I was trying to tell you, so that we can remember by this whole funny experience that we were having. Because when I was starting, I did not knew that how to get a site up. I was very new, so I spent some money from my own pocket to buy a domain and hosting, and the registration was done so fast in such in rush that happened. So I thought that just to remember this milestone, I should just keep it that way for some time. And then somebody told me that it's pretty good. It's a good marketing way to go about it. Some people might find it rude, but it's a good way. And then I thought it's not just a good way. People will think we are like idiots or something. So I changed it all over the place, like from everywhere. So yeah,
yeah.
it's spelled Nex Marketing Solutions.
Yeah, because I mean, now that I know the story, I get it. But it's just like, if I'm scrolling through websites and I see the name of a company spelled wrong, I might just be like, I'm not going to work with them. How are they going to market me if
I
they
don't
can't even
think,
spell their own name right? Yeah,
yeah, yeah, I get that.
yeah.
Get
So
that,
just
and
just my thoughts. So we'll see what happens with it. But yeah, I wanna just keep cranking these out, and yeah, we'll make some more content from YouTube, and we'll take over the world together, and then we can, I don't know, go hang out in Bermuda on the beach or something.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
All
Okay.
right, and what time is it where you are now? For me, it's 7:41 p.m.
4:41 a.m.
4:41 a.m.
Yeah.
And have you gone to bed yet, or are you up really early?
I'm basically up pretty early. Like, it's normal for me to basically working at this hour because I have other things that I do, like the projects other people do manage. We got some people in Ukraine and Serbia as well that basically are doing business with us. So I gotta be up on their time zone as well sometimes, and then I have to stay up a little bit longer because the Sri Lankan that we basically are working with stays up as well, and then we have people in the Philippines that are working under us. They also stays up as well. So yeah, different time zones. So I have to balance some way or another. Most
Yeah, I
of
mean,
it goes
most of it goes what?
most of the stuff goes to directly to my email anyway, so it's better to stay up and just sleep a little bit in the day
Oh,
than to just work these different time zones.
wow. Yeah, and I know the Philippines time zone now because I've got all my friends there, and it's 12 hours difference. So right now it's 7:42 a.m. So they'll start waking up now and be messaging me, and I'll be like, okay, I'm going to bed. So I feel like an international person. That's just crazy though. So yeah, you don't. I don't know when you sleep. So have you? So you haven't gone to bed yet tonight, or you did?
No,
No.
no, I didn't. I actually have been awake since 5 p.m. It's
So you
like,
woke up at 5 p.m. and then so basically you're up all night, and then you go to
yeah,
sleep today or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, a
Well,
little bit, 3 hours in the day. Then I wake up in the middle of the day, and then I start working on something that we have on the job board that we created. That basically like a Slack group, and I take the web development and graphic design work most of the time, and then my team basically follow ups with me. We have a sales guy that's doing other work, that he brings in clients. So he's basically based in the North America right now. He's basically in the United States, Omaha, Nebraska. So we have to coordinate with him. We got a sales guy in India who also does the same thing for the South Asian market because he has better reach on the South Asian market. And then we have content creators within Sri Lanka and within India. So I have to be up during the day as well. So it's like 2 3 hours of sleep and a lot of emails and instant messaging going back and forward. And basically one third of the work is done by me and it's supervised by me. So I can't just let them, go. I can't just let them run free with the work because I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do.
Yeah,
Profanity is
yeah.
allowed.
What's that?
Profanity is allowed, right? Because I just said the F word without censoring it.
Oh
You can
no.
cut that off, right?
I guess we'll see. Maybe I'll bleep it because yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter. I didn't even notice it. But yeah, I don't know if that means like if somebody says one word in there on YouTube, are they going to demonetize it, or now do I have to tell Apple that this is, you know, uh, here? What? Let's write down the time. When did we say that? Like 1:06 swear word, and then I'll beep it. Yeah, because I mean, I might have to flag it on Apple as adult content now or something. I don't know, but I can easily beep the audio, and then I can go beep the. I'll figure out how to beep it on YouTube. I wonder if you can go into YouTube and edit something and add a little beep. I think you can.
Well,
Like when,
yeah. Before posting to YouTube, you can just use Premiere Pro and you can just use a sound effect and you can
oh yeah,
extract
no,
the whole audio, the sound effect
yeah, yeah,
in
no,
the
I can
middle.
go into. I would go into iMovie and I could do that, but but otherwise I could just upload the file directly to YouTube and be done with it. But also, it's tough because like they have this honor system thing now where you can say, is this acceptable for ads? And then if you say yes, but then it's like, oh, there was a swear word in there, then are you not trustworthy anymore? I don't know. It'd be easier if I could just upload it to YouTube and then go in and edit within. I'll see if I can do that. I feel like I did that before, like added a little beep so you don't have to make a. We'll figure it out. And then I'll let people know in the next episode how I did it and what happened. Cool.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I guess in terms of time zones, yeah, I mean, in the modern world, if you're working with people around the world and everything's online, then yeah, you got to figure out that it's not just, oh, I'll work from 9 to 5 and go to bed. It's like, you're working with
It's
people
it's
everywhere.
not 9 to 5. It's 24 hours. You can
Yeah.
say like
So
24
hopefully,
hours kind of work.
yeah. So hopefully you can figure out when to get your proper sleep, and then yeah, well, let's take over the world, and then we can just live in our mansion and sleep when we want, and tell people they can deal with our time zone or whatever.
Maybe it
Cool.
could be possible. Yeah, it could be
That's my
possible.
dream. I'm manifesting it. I'm making it happen. Just doing it. Cool. All right. Well, it's been an hour and 7 minutes. That's a good run. And yeah, so okay, so if people want to find you, I'll put your name in the description. But what is it? Nex Marketing Solution, or what is your?
Nex Marketing Solutions.
But not, but not with like with the spelling error, or not with the spelling error.
Without the spelling error. Nex Marketing Solutions.
.com.
Yeah, .com.
So before it wasn't available, but now you got it.
Yeah.
Did somebody have it and you bought it from them, or what happened?
Basically, what happened is that the domain was not available. Like the guy that I was working with, didn't properly double check it. Then I basically recently checked on Namecheap. It was available, but we are not using it right now. We are just using a subdomain from Builderall because we are reserving that because we have some kind of an offer from basically a company that basically goes by the last solution thing, and we would like to sell it, but I will be using it. But the thing is, we're not using it in our site. It's a Nex Marketing Solutions at .builderall.com, and it's basically built on Builderall right now because we switched from WordPress to Builderall because it has much more options and has a clean interface on it. So yeah, that's that. But we have the domain, the correct one as well. Sorry, I forgot to mention that.
So if somebody goes to nexmarketingsolutions.com, it'll go to your website.
Yeah, nxmarketingsolutions.com. Just go ahead and type it on Google. You will find all of our stuff, like our number, our basically our contact information and everything.
Okay, but it's you're not using that as your like it just redirects to your other website, Builderall, like that's what you're saying?
No, it's actually hosted on Builderall. So we're just testing the subdomain that it's been given with Builderall. So because somebody told us that when you connect your domain with Bubble, it basically disrupts some of the functions of the site. So we are not trying to risk that. And as the functionality is pretty good, and we have traffic coming in, so that's why you can't put the site off for now. But however, at the end of August, we will basically put it under construction again, and we will connect the new domain. And you can basically look us up. The company, the remote agency, is basically registered within Ohio, but however, we operated like I operated from my home country, Pakistan.
But so so your website isn't up, or it is up?
Actually, the website is up. The thing is, we haven't connected our domain. Like whenever you basically make a website, you have to connect your domain at the end. Like if you're
Yeah.
making it on a CMS, like WordPress, Wix, or BuildRaw. In our case, we're using BuildRaw because it has more functionality. It gives you proper SEO capabilities. Like you can do SEO on all pages without a hassle. And it is a pretty good platform that we use. So we're using that right now. So
Okay,
we
so
will.
it's just if I go to the domain, it just directs to the website, but it's not actually
Yeah,
built
yeah,
on the domain yet. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like if you go to joshrackless.com now, I stopped paying for hosting, so it redirects to just joshrackless.wordpress.com. But it's, yeah, that's what you're saying. All right, I think so. Who knows? I have no idea about any of this.
Well, if you want to do, if your audience want to do, basically want to look us up,
Yeah,
just go on to Google, type Nex Marketing Solutions. You'll see our Google business page. You can just click on the spear, like the Earth button, like for the internet icon, and it will redirect the users, the audience members to our website. And on the search history, you're gonna see the first 5 or 4 links is our basically our social media handles and everything. And on the fifth or the fourth link is basically our website link. That's the direct way to reach it. Just do a simple Google search, nexmarketing.com, nexmarketingsolutions.com. It's N as an Nancy, E as an Edward, X is a xylophone, and it's marketing solutions, like correct the right way,
yeah.
and you can just look us up.
All right, I will. Well, thanks so much, and yeah, we'll be in touch. And I think I should be, with your help, I should be a billionaire by the end of August. I think, like 24, 25 days. I think so.
Well, if the site picks up traffic, then you can go beyond billion because what you're trying to achieve is something everybody wants to get on, like a platform creators and other kind of content as well that's not widely available.
All right. I like that. I like that attitude more than a billion. All right. I won't aim low. I'll aim high. Cool. All right. Well, hopefully you
So
can get some sleep today, and hopefully I can get some sleep tonight. And we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Adnan.
you're welcome, man. Take care. Stay safe.